Hi, and welcome to the Weaverbirds, a podcast about knitting, spinning, weaving, all the fibre arts. My name's Cathy and I'm from Lazykate Textiles, and this is Heather, the Inquisitive Weaver, the newly Dr. Heather, the Inquisitive Weaver.
Thank you.
So this time we're going to be talking about our Make 9 for 2021. This isn't something that I've taken part in previous years, but this year I think that it's important to have a focus, and so I will definitely be putting into practice Make 9, and I think we were going to go straight into it, weren't we, Heather?
Yeah.
What our plans were. Right, okay, so for me, as a spinner, I thought it would be interesting to try and complete something that had been left over, so I'm going to try and hit the ground running and get a head start. So while I was organising some of the things in the shed, we have a shed at Lazykate Textiles where we keep all our spinning items, all our spinning wheels and our looms for our workshops. We're having a big sort out. I came across a big collection of hand-spun, hand-dyed, crocheted granny squares that I'd completely forgotten about. And
That's amazing.
There must be about 60 in there. So they're all ready to go, and they haven't been blocked or anything, so they're a little bit they could do with a bit of a stretch. Anyway, my daughter Jasmine, who also works with me, she said that she would like it as a blanket for her, and so I said, what yarn would you like to join it? And she picked this, which is very much not me. This is very, very bright colour, but it will kind of bring everything together, won't it? And so that is the yarn that I've spun. I've spun it kind of like an
That's gorgeous.
So normally I kind of go for like a 4-ply because that's easy while I'm watching the TV. But yeah, so this is kind of like an Aran weight, and that's what I'm going to use to crochet them all together.
I love that.
I didn't measure anything, and I don't actually think there's enough, but we're going to the shed tomorrow to do some work, so I'll dye some more and then spin up some more. So I really enjoyed it because I haven't done a huge amount of spinning. It's all been around the frame looms and the rigid heddle loom and tea towels like that, so it was really lovely to get back to the spinning wheel and just relax and just spin and chill, especially as it's been so cold. Just stay
so cold.
So that's my first one. It's going to be a blanket.
That's lovely. So for my first one, again, like quite a few of mine are projects that I've already started in 2020. So I think if you've watched previous episodes, you'll probably have already seen it's called the Hearthside Blanket. And so this one is little woven squares that I'm using Sheepy's wool, and I just bought like a collection of like what was it called, like river washed and stone washed, and they come in all the little balls, and so I'm just working my way through them. And so like this is one of my goals, to do it, and then what I'm going to do is crochet around the outside and then crochet them all together. So I've actually been working on it so far, so I think I've done 3 so far this year, and so that's what I am currently working on. Well, I have to say I'm kind of mixing my projects, but that's number 1, and I've got this little bag which I keep it in, and so I actually really love this colour that I'm working on. It's like a really nice mint green. But yeah, so this is Sheepy's stone washed, and they just come in like these tiny little balls.
That's with the Zoom loom, isn't it, Heather?
It is, yeah. So here, this is the shacked Zoom loom. So it's just a little pin loom. It's really lovely. Like you can see, like I've just got this tiny little bag, and it's just a really nice project. So I can have this downstairs with, you know, the dog around and not worry that she's gonna get it.
Really good project for somebody to do who was either a new spinner or not necessarily a confident spinner, because I think that if you make little squares like you've made and they have the texture of handspun, especially beginners handspun, which beginner spinners don't always appreciate how beautiful the their textured
I
yarn is.
know, yeah.
Everything's got to be so perfect. But I think those little squares will show up the lovely texture of a handspun yarn. So for beginner spinners, maybe that'd be a great project for them.
I think it is, and I really love this because we probably talked about it previously, but I like when I'm spinning to weave up a little square afterwards, because then I've always got a sample of what I've spun, and so I think it's a really nice little thing. And then just very quickly, because this isn't part of my make 9, so this is technically make 10, is you might have I won't touch on it a lot, maybe in the next episode we can touch on it a bit more, but I've almost finished my velvety sweater. I just have the cuff to go on my last sleeve, so I'm really excited. And I've got a really cute little lab coat stitch marker, which just marks the 100th stitch. So, well, not stitch, row. So
you
yeah.
said warm, didn't you?
Pardon?
You said that's really warm.
Oh, it's so warm. It's ridiculously warm. It's made from Drop Sky, which is an alpaca, and it is the loveliest. It's just so soft and it's so warm, and it's just, I'm so excited to wear it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to wear it to work tomorrow. Unblocked.
It's great. It's great. Now, I've just been being really vain because I've taken my glasses off and now I can't see my make 9 list. So I have to put my glasses back on. Right, okay, so my next one is just to finish this is yarn that was left over, and it was in our sale this time. It is a silk alpaca linen mix. So this was,
yeah,
and I really loved it, so I kept it, and I've got four balls of this, 400 grams, and all I've been doing is, it's so simple, it's just a like knit 5 purl 5, you know, kind of waffle.
That's lovely. It makes like a basket weave kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's so soft. It's really lovely. So for something that is mindless at night, you know, and you just want to break. So that's how far that is. And I'd like to make quite a long shawl. We say just as long as the yarn lasts, really. And I think 400 meters, I think, in each skein. So that is lovely. But the feel of it is really nice, because often wool is a little bit scratchy.
It is, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's lovely. So my number 2 project is another blanket project. It is the Habitation throw by Helen Stewart. And so this year I did an advent calendar by who are they? Bird Street. I think they've changed the name to Bird Street Yarn now, because it was Mr. B's Yarn by Bird Street. Anyway, so I did the advent calendar, and they did it, it's really cool, they did it like the school nativity theme, and they got us all to send in like a hand-drawn picture of ourselves. So it's like a little PE bag, you know, because they did that, I don't know if they did that at your school, but they did it at mine. And so here's me at the bottom.
Oh wow, that's lovely.
Yeah, so I'll show you what I've done so far. So again, I started this in December, and annoyingly, and so if anyone else out there has done it and still has the sequins that all the colours in, I took all of mine out of the bag and I don't know what sequence they're in. So this is what I've done so far.
That's
of
cool.
the blanket. And I really like the colours, and it's just very nice. The colours change quite a bit. I wonder if I can just pull a few out. So we've got greens, we've got some pinks in there, some browns, and some yellow. So if anyone out there, or if Bird Street see this and know what sequence the colours go in, please tell me, because I'd like to do them in the days that they came out of.
With a lot of with hand-dyed yarns, a lot of them will just always work together. It doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah.
Put them in.
Yeah. So it's been a really lovely project. I'm slow, like it's probably going to take me like the entire year to do this one. Oh no, and I just dropped some stitches, but it's okay, I got it. But yeah, so maybe by 2022 I'll have a second blanket, But so that is my second number 2 project, and just show you in this shuttles of mass construction.
Isn't
I can't remember where I got that from, but
Oh, I'm sure someone could Google it and find out.
yeah, I absolutely loved it. I think I got it at a show. Oh, here we go. I'm crafty.co.uk.
Right. Well worth a look.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my number 2.
Right. Number 3, glasses back on. Right. So this isn't a project, but this is something that we are involved with. So I have a range of my own hand dyed yarns, and for the spring we've got new colours coming out. So tomorrow we are heading down to the shed, and tomorrow is we've got like hundreds of things to do tomorrow. So if I get one done, that'll be good. But one of the plans is to start dyeing for the spring colours, and we've got all our colours sorted out, and we're going down a theme of New Zealand, and we've got some really gorgeous inspirational photographs and inspirational places in New Zealand. And so those are the colours that we're going to start experimenting with tomorrow, and it's always so exciting because we've got all our yarn ready, and it's all in orders, it's all out on the shelves, and all the cookers are ready, and we've got our plan. So that is really exciting because well, particularly now we feel like spring, it could be, we could be heading towards a little bit of freedom in spring, couldn't we? And so our colours are light and positive and happy.
Oh, I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, and we are really really excited about it, and yeah, let's bring it on. We're going to get up early, and we've been shielding in our house, so I know a lot of people, their lives haven't changed, or they are much more busy than they were before, but for us, our lives are kind of like screeched to a halt. So we're going to have to get up tomorrow morning and be working like normal people. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it has to be done.
Yeah. So my next one is, if anyone saw on Instagram that I made my puppy, who, if you hear any crying, it's her, a hoodie, and my dad asked for one for his dog. So that is my number 3 make, and I'm making it so out of an old football shirt. So I've almost finished it. I started it in 2021. So all I have to do now is hem the bottom, because I'm doing a hem on this one. So it's got the little hood, it's got little armholes, it's got a little hole for she's got a lead on. And then, so what I need to do now is hem the bottom, and then I'm putting the crest on the back of the sweatshirt. And then, because it was actually from the 2005 Willow championship edition, it's got this little special thing that says what jersey it is and stuff like that. So I'm gonna stick it onto the front of it, so it'll be on her chest. So when my dad's watching the football, little Loki can sit in her little sweatshirt and watch it with him.
That's brilliant. That's so clever. And the one that you did for Willow fits her perfectly, doesn't it? I mean, it looks so.
Does. Yeah. And that
brilliant.
was out of an old sweatshirt as well. So, yep. So that will be done soon. I'm hoping to do that maybe after this podcast, just hem the edges and sew that on. So that's my next of my make 9.
I think if you've got one of your make 9, which is almost ready to go, then it can give you the impetus to carry on, can't it? I mean, if 9 projects could be quite overwhelming if you pick quite large projects, but if you have something like that, you think, right, well, I've got one down already, that's yeah. So my next one is something along the theme of the other one, of the new colours. We've decided to have our own range of natural dyed yarns, and so this is something that is a work in progress. It's not going to happen immediately. Our plan is to build some raised beds around the edge of the shed and grow some dye plants as well. So that is going to be maybe in, I don't know, maybe in about 6 weeks or so we'll start that going. So we'll count that in as our February or March project, and that's something that we're really looking forward to as well, because when I started Lazykate in about, I don't know, maybe early 2000s, the plan was always to grow dye plants and use everything natural, all natural dyes and all British yarn. And at that time, because the internet was in its infancy, we couldn't do it and have a business. So had to go down the route of natural dyes at that time. So although acid dyes at that time, and although we operate with our acid dyes as ethically, ecologically as we can, it would be nice to have some natural dyes running alongside that as well. So that is a project that will be February, mid-February, March we'll be starting off with that. So to get outside and get some pallets. I mean, there's like, if you're living in an industrial area, because I live in Liverpool, you know, there's pallets, you can come across pallets all the time. So really, that's another one I feel really enthusiastic about.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I can't wait to see what you come up with the natural dyes. So that's something I'd like to have a go at. It's not in my Make 9, but definitely.
Well, hopefully, you know, once that things lift a little bit, then people can come together again, because you know, Zoom's great and it's nice to have online learning, but it's great to see people, and then you bounce ideas off each other. And
we'll get back there, we will.
Right, so what's this for?
So my number 4 is a sweatshirt. So I've got some fabric somewhere that I bought like maybe a year or so ago to make a jumper for myself, and then I never got round to it. So since I've just made a little sweatshirt for the dog, who was crying incessantly, I thought I'd make myself one. So I bought some cuff material, and I've got a pattern which I got printed out online, so hopefully that will come in the next few days, and then I'm going to make myself a sweatshirt. And I just bought myself a little iron-on patch of like a little mountain range with the sun, so I'm going to put a little patch on it. And so because I would like to try and make myself some clothes this year, like, so that's, I think that would be nice to make myself a little hoodie. Well, no, it's not a hoodie, it's a sweatshirt.
I think it's nice to mix up, isn't it? Mix up with the mediums you're using, then you don't get bored, do you? I think you can get a bit sort of bogged down, too much weaving or too much spinning. Nice to mix it up. That's good. Right, glasses back on while I read my thing. Right, so I have got from a lady who lives relatively locally to us 3 alpaca fleeces in our shed, and they are, I'll send you a picture of the alpaca. It's like a sort of a gingery colour, and I know, it's so gorgeous. And so I'm going to be spinning the alpaca fibre, and then I'll write about that. I'm taking part in the Brittnik challenge, which is run by British Fibre Art magazine, and so I would think that alpaca would be included in that. So I have spun alpaca before and I do like it, but it's working their way through these 3 fleeces, and it's nice that they're from a local supplier. Called I'll send you the information. It's Artemis alpacas. Okay. So hopefully be doing a little bit more with them in the summer as well. So yes, that's what I'll be doing. Is that your poor dog? Did the yak bone didn't work, Heather?
Oh, you know what? I gave her a Dentibur, you know, one for her to brush her teeth, and obviously she's finished it.
Yeah. When you said I'm going to go and get the yak bone, I was like, oh my word. This is...
She does have a yak bone. I'm pretty sure there's one in there.
Big ears for your dog.
So my number 5 for me again is a sewing one. We do get some more knitting and weaving and spinning later on, but so this is it's called the Agnes t-shirt by Tilly and the Buttons, and it's just a a long sleeve t-shirt, and I would just like to restock my wardrobe with a few t-shirts which are just plain black or grey or white, to go under like my hand knits and stuff like that. So that's my plan, is just to make myself some t-shirts with a basic pattern. So yeah, I'll probably do that later in the year, because I have like an embargo on buying things whilst I'm moving house. So yeah, because the money needs to go towards the house, not my hobbies. So later in the year, when I've sorted out my house, I can buy myself some fabric to make some t-shirts. So yeah, that's my number 5.
I think it is good, isn't it, to have to be aware. I mean, we all, it's not a new thought, is it? But we all, as makers, probably have way too much stuff, don't we? And it's good if you can use what you've got. It's not always as easy as that, is it? You've either not got enough yarn left over, or you've not, you have to add to use up projects. But it is good to be aware of it, how much we are amassing.
I don't want to think about it. This year I'm going to de-stash. I'm either going to sell on my stash or give my stash away or something, but I think I'm going to have a good look at it.
That's a good idea. And I live on a boat, so that, I mean, it's just, there's nowhere to put anything. So it's a good job I've got a shed, really. Right, I don't know what number we're on.
6.
Right, okay, so 6 is another not a sort of a physical thing. I am going to make some online tutorials, and this is something that my husband has been telling me to do for years, and I have put it off because I'm not particularly comfortable being in front of the camera. And so now Zoom has kind of motivated me to have a go, and so this is one of the things that we are going to be starting, which I've done some Zoom classes. I've done a few Zoom classes, Zoom spinning classes and Zoom warping up classes, but we would really like to be able to have them recorded so that they are professional and ready to go, and there's not all this umming and ahhing that we get on here when you're trying to think off the cuff. So that's this week as well. We're going to start with the warping up workshop, and then take it from there, and hopefully we'll have some pick up stick workshops, and we'll have the kits to go with them as well. So this is the plan. It's all written, and it's I've put it on an auto cue, so I feel like a newsreader. So this is the plan, and hopefully we'll have those within the next couple of weeks. So that is now that I've said it, I have to do it.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting, and it's something because Jessamy, who is my daughter who works alongside me, she has been at the beginning of lockdown, she lost her job, but then she's kind of been shielding because of me, and so we've been working together more. So it's been great to have her and Sophia as well, us working together, because it's like new ideas, and as well because they're younger, they've got a different sort of take on things. So I feel enthusiastic about that as well, and that I feel that I've got backup, really.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
So in between all the dyeing, tomorrow we're going to be doing a little bit of filming as well. So
that'll be great.
Wish me luck.
Yeah.
So that's my number 6. So I think I've only got like 2 physical projects, haven't I? The rest of it is all in the air.
Well, my number 6 is my Mountain Mama socks. So I think in a previous podcast, vlog, I did actually start knitting them, and I'm pretty sure I shared them on the podcast.
They were like a gold and grey. Are they like a gold and grey?
Yeah, so they were like a mountain range. But what happened is at the very beginning, because I'd never done stranded color work before, I'd done it too tight, and then I seemed to get the gist of it as I'm going further along. And so in that beginning bit, there was no stretch. I couldn't get it on my sock, so I ripped it out, and I thought, well, I'll just do it again. But obviously, because it was a bit more difficult, I was like, I'm just gonna knit easy socks. So this year, I'm gonna actually sit down and do it properly, and I think I might go up a needle size and knit it inside out as well, um, so that my strands are on the outside. And so I'm gonna nail it. I'm gonna I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna make some nice socks that fit me with the pattern, because I thought they were beautiful. I thought I'd chosen Bird Street yarns, and I thought the color combination I had was really lovely. So I'm really excited to do that project again. It's not one where I just ripped it out and I wasn't going to revisit it. So I will do it this year. This year I will take off a new technique for myself.
That's a good idea. I think
Yeah.
as well with stuff like that, that you've maybe might have been in like making, because I know you've done previous make nines, it might have been in one say from last year, and to improve on it.
Mm.
I think that's a great idea. And my number 7 is going to be continue with um, working with the natural fleeces. It isn't something that I particularly like at the moment, and I think I've got to find a way to work better with it.
Mm.
Every time I prepare or process a fleece, I learn a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to come the summer, because I've got 2 Ryeland fleeces. I'd like to be able to use, our local producers, their fleeces more. I'd love to be able to do that, but I don't really like the process, I have to be honest. And
Yeah.
so it's easy, isn't it? It's easy to buy fibre that's prepared from like World of Wool or wherever. And it's super wash, and it has all, you know, all the lanolin, all the muck and everything taken out of it. But I think as a spinner, I've got to learn to find some way to love it. So in the summer, I'm going to be preparing those 2 Ryeland fleeces, and hopefully I'll pick a nice couple of days so that I can wash it outside and make a better job of it than I did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably do a bit more research about it and ask more people about how they do it.
I might be able to have a go this year, because I'll have a garden. Whereas, because in my flat, there's no way I could do a fleece. Absolutely no way. But no, that'll be really interesting. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, and if we can do it, maybe we should have a go together and see.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so that's my number 7.
lovely. So, and I feel like mine is like full of projects that I've already shown. So I do apologize, but I realize that I just have to focus and like do what I've started. So this is the Felix pullover by Savory Knitting, and I don't know whether I spoke about it. I think we'd stopped the podcast, but what happened is I hadn't done enough increases. Now I've read the pattern several times, and I don't know whether I've downloaded one with an error in it, but I couldn't see where I'd gone wrong for the sizing that I was doing. But anyway, I just ripped it back and started again. So here it is so far. So we've got the increases. So I just had to go back and do another increase. And I've separated for the sleeves, and I'm now just working on the body. But you can see, so I'm using Malabrigo Rio. I absolutely love the colour. It's not quite coming out exactly on the screen, but I had enough skeins of it, but they're quite contrasting. So I do have a bit of striping on the front. I am alternating the skeins, but it doesn't matter. I still think it's lovely.
I think that looks
Um,
really nice.
oh, thank you. So
Good.
I'm gonna keep going on it. So when I've cast off the velvety sweater tonight, hopefully, this is the next project which I am focusing on to finish. because it's been cold, and we're only in January, and February is usually quite cold, isn't it? So I would like to finish this for February.
I think the colour really suits it. It's a nice rich colour, isn't it?
It is. And it's really soft as well, which is just lovely. So so hopefully I will finish knitting 2 jumpers this year, and maybe I'll cast on another, but I haven't put that in my make 9. So
Yeah, really
so yeah,
nice.
so that is my number 7.
That's gorgeous. That'll be lovely when it's finished.
Thanks.
Right, glasses back on. Right, okay, so my next one will be something that we're working with Jessamine and Sophia together, all of us, and which is getting some wall hanging with the frame looms, you know, the frame looms that we have.
Yeah.
We've had kits that went really well before Christmas, and so we just had one size, so we want to make some patterns for that, and which would involve some wall hangings, we'll still be spinning yarn, because for our kits we spin our own yarn. We dye and spin the yarn, so some of it is really textured and chunky, and some of it is thin. We've got the warp yarn as well, so we'll be doing a little bit more of that, but also some tapestry weaving with those.
Oh yeah.
So that's something that is in the pipeline at the moment, which Jessamine's working on, and so that'd be really nice to have those ready to go on the website, because frame loom weaving, with the feedback we've had, quite a bit of it has been with mums, you know, wanting to inspire their daughters to weave, and so that's really lovely if you can do that with your daughter. You work together, and with something with a which is so simple. And I think in times past, when people have come on our spinning workshops or on our weaving workshops mainly, they'll say that, oh well, when I was at school we did frame loom weaving, and I'm not sure that schools do that so much anymore.
No.
And it's really good for children because it's you know, dexterous, and teaching them coordination and things like that. So with the feedback we've had, we think, well, we want to inspire mums and children to be able to work together with that, and so that'll be one of our plans. So that's I'm not even doing that. I have outsourced that to a daughter.
Well, that's great, and it's a really good one as well for, you know, parents in lockdown, keeping their children entertained. So
yeah, we actually had a fair that we did. A man came up to speak to us, and he was a surgeon, and he was saying that some of the they were starting to teach some of the students that came through. They were starting to teach them sewing and embroidery, because he said that this action came very, very easily to a lot of the students, but this, he said, not so much. And I hate to think that that's the case.
yeah,
you know, that
gaming.
And you know, I mean, it's great. It's great, whatever. But you know, if we can inspire those and make them more relevant, those crafts, then we do really like to do that. So, and who knows, maybe some workshops as well in the future.
Oh, that's really nice.
I'm saying all this. These are all our plans, and I'm saying all this so that I do them.
You will do them. It's going to be a year of doing.
Yeah, let's hope so.
So my number 8 it's over there. I won't grab it, and I'm pretty sure I've shown it before, but it's a spinning related one. And what my aim is at some point this year to spin a 4-ply yarn and then knit it into socks. So for me, that's quite difficult because I get bored spinning really fine. And like my natural yarn is to do a Navajo ply, so that's a 3-ply where you chain it as you're playing. An Aran weight, so my natural yarn is like a 3-ply Aran weight. So currently I've got a project that I started last year where I'm spinning very finely, and it's taken me a long time to spin, but I've been trying to sit down like 15 minutes every day and spin thinly. So I reckon this one might come out as a DK, but I will try, and if it doesn't come out as a 4-ply, my next one I'll try and make it, you know, a 3-ply, 4-ply, a fingering weight 3-ply is more appropriate to say, I guess. And then knit it into socks, because I would knit quite a lot of socks up from my handspun, but they're all like an Aran weight sock, so they're all quite hot and chunky, which is great for the winter. But I was thinking I'd like to have something that I can just bung on in the spring and or in the summer when, you know, it's getting a bit chillier, and it not be too hot. So that's my plan. Is so it's kind of like a goal is to spin a fingering weight yarn.
So would you not just go with a traditionally plied, a 2-ply?
I could do, right? Might be more logical, but I just I have a habit of just spinning everything onto one bobbin if I can. And like this plan for the yarn that I've actually got on the spinning wheel at the moment was a plan to be two bobbins that I was going to ply together, because I was like kind of doing a fractal spin, and I've kind of completely forgotten about that and left it for a few months, and then come back to it, and I don't know how many braid, you know, I split it up, I don't know how many I put on the bobbin, and you know, versus how many got left. So it's just going to be a chain ply because I'm stupid.
No, work with what you're comfortable with, and I think it's we kick ourselves, don't we, because we don't necessarily write everything down, but that's not how you feel when you're starting a project. You just, and you don't necessarily know what you're going to make.
No.
So you know, you've got to work with what you've got there.
Yeah.
You'll get there, and once you've spun it super thinly, then you won't be able to go back.
I know, you know, that's what happened to me like previously, is I learned how to spin really fine, and then I couldn't do chunky, and then I think I had a break, and then I came back to spinning, and then I just like found this like Aran weight that I do, and now I'm trying to go back to really thin. I'm like, oh my god, it snaps all the time. You know, that kind of thing. So but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, definitely. So
okay, so my final one, my number 9, is to make patterns for rigid heddle weavers. So I'll be using like our yarns and how to put them together, colour wise and things like that. I've got a lot of same what you're saying about the socks, really, that you make these patterns, and we've got a lot of them that we use for our workshops, and then but you don't write it down, and so then when you get back to it, it's a bit of a pain. So hopefully this year I will be releasing some patterns. I've got one ready to go straight away.
nice.
And yeah, so so that's my plan. And when we did the podcast previously, we did talk about making copious notes and keeping
we did like a whole episode on it.
And so I just think that's what I need to do. I need to force myself to do it, and I rebel against that a little bit of being so ordered. But you know, you're kind of sabotaging yourself in the end, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like to do. And so when we get there's a plan of action. So we got to dye the yarns, then weave with the yarns, and then the patterns. So there should be an ordered way of doing this. So this year, 2021, I'm going to really try to be ordered. And the way I'm going to do that, because I've used a bullet journal for years, but the way that I'm going to do that is I am going to do one thing a day. So I'm going to do one thing, plan one thing for the next day, and then if I do that thing, then I can do another thing in the same day. But one thing, plan one thing, and that is how I'm going to try and accomplish things. That's my plan. Cool. So that's my 9.
Okay, well, my final one is a weaving one, because there hasn't been much weaving in my Make 9, but I do plan on doing a lot of weaving. But I think it's because I don't really have my looms with me, so I haven't really thought about it. But I did go and get my what's it called, the Erica loom, and bring it back. And it's got the, God forbid, because we mentioned this in like every single episode we've ever talked about, the Haldral tea towels. So they're on my loom at the moment, and they're almost done. There's like, I think I have like 9 inches left to weave, and then they're done. But that's not my Make 9. It is the boucle tea towels that I bought the yarn off Jane Stafford. I think I got her yarn last January. But I want to put that on my Shack Baby Wolf. So I'd love to just, you know, get into a pattern with it. So that is my plan. So I think I've got enough yarn on there to make 9 tea towels. So I'm gonna, as soon as I move into my house and my craft room set up, I'm gonna set up that loom and make some tea towels. And it's just gonna be a really nice, simple weaving project to get me back into weaving on the big loom, because I basically haven't done any for like a year. So
I think that's a great idea, and then they can be like lovely housewarming tea towels in your place with your new doctor shit.
Yes.
So we'll are we going to meet up in a fortnight? Is it a fortnight? Okay, and so we should be well on our way with our first project, seeing as kind of like we're, you know, halfway through both of them, really. So we should have, will we have one done, do you think?
I definitely think I'll have one done. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll try and have one done as well. All right. Yeah. Brilliant. So we'll see you in a fortnight.
Yep. Lovely to speak to you. See you, everyone. Bye.